Hey, what's up everybody? Don R. Hopkins of the Cato Company, and I'm gonna show you 3 different ways to shoot a model using one light. So I don't know about you, but when I first started shooting, I didn't have any gear. All I had was my camera. I didn't have any lighting, anything. So I had to learn to use the resources that were available to me, right? Available light. I used my TV, I used lights from my closet, bathroom, even the lighting on my phone. And it just made me tap into a creativity that I didn't even know was there. But one day I bought a light and I set it up and I just stared at it because I had no idea how to use it. So after all these years of experience, I decided to make a video to help those of you who might be in that situation right now where you're using a light and you want to know how to get different looks using just that one light. So before we move forward, I want to mention that if you want to know what I use to create these shots, stay to the end of the video because I'm going to tell you exactly what camera body I use and what lights I use to create these shots. Okay guys, for this first setup, we're gonna use direct lighting. We're gonna have the light directly in front of our model. Now, here's the thing. This is not my absolute favorite, but it provides very even light on both sides of the face, and it's very soft, natural light. It's just, of course, that depends on your diffuser that you're using, but that's another conversation. But this provides a lot of even light. The only thing that I don't like that much about this particular setup is that it is very flat light. There's no dimension. It doesn't provide any shadows on the face, so there's not any dimension there. And so that's the thing that I least like about it, but it is a start and it is where most photographers gravitate to as their first initial light setup. So we're gonna move into the second setup, which is actually one of my absolute favorites. It's called the Rembrandt style of lighting, and it was basically invented or coined after Rembrandt, who was a painter, and he included a lot of light and shadows in his photos. And so what this looks like is you place the light 45 degrees to the left or the right of your camera. What it does is it creates this shadow on the opposite side of the face, but there's this triangular shape of light that makes it right on the other side of the nose. It creates a lot of depth, contrast, and there's a lot of light and shadow play on the face, and that's just the most flattering look in my opinion, and absolutely one of my favorites. For this third setup, we're gonna take our light and we're gonna put it directly to the side on the left or the right side of our model. What we're gonna do is we're gonna raise it up a little high and we're gonna angle the softbox down about 45 degrees. And what this is gonna do is gonna create a lot of shadow on the opposite side of the face. And you use this typically when you wanna create a lot of mood, when you want a predominantly dark photo, but you still want your model to stand out. So if you're ever looking for a dramatic effect and you're wanting to implement something a little bit different, this is definitely a go-to. All right guys, so as promised, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the gear I use to create these photos. So for my light, I am using the Einstein 640 watt second strobe. This thing is powerful. 640 watt seconds is very powerful light. You can use it I've seen it used in an amateur setting, amateur professional setting, and even for professional shoots all over the world. Great lighting and is very inexpensive. On that light, I'm using my 30 by 60 softbox. It's a giant softbox, but the good thing about this softbox is it provides a lot of light coverage. It provides a ton of soft light. So I'm tethering from my camera into Lightroom, and I'm using my Tether Pro cable that plugs directly into my camera and allows me to capture to Lightroom. But also I'm backing up those photos to my G Technology 4 terabyte hard drive. That hard drive is a workhorse, it's a beast. Shout out to G Technology. I take this hard drive everywhere I go. Anytime I'm backing up photos, I'm using this thing. Super reliable, super dependable, and I recommend it to any photographer that's trying to take your art and your craft seriously. Okay guys, so let me talk a little bit about my camera body and what I'm using to shoot these photos with. This is actually one of my favorite cameras. Out of all the ones that I've owned, this is my favorite. It's a Nikon D810. This is a workhorse. I've had this for a little while, but man, and I've put this camera through the ringer. Even may have dropped it a couple of times. But this thing is still going strong. It's still shooting strong. And I am using my Nikkor 24-70 2.8. And the settings, just so you know exactly how I shot these photos, I'm shooting at a shutter speed of 200 My f-stop or my aperture is at 5.6 and my ISO is at 100. Now let me tell you, the reason why I say I've had this camera for a little while now is because I'm not one of those tech heads where I'm like, man, every time a new camera comes out, I'm gonna go buy a new body. I'm just not that person. It's not about the camera. I know a lot of times, you know, we get caught up in these wars of Nikon versus Canon and Sony and the A7 and all these, and they're all great cameras. But at the end of the day, a camera is not gonna make you an artist. It's not gonna make you a great artist. You are gonna make yourself a great artist by shooting a crap load of photos. That's the only way you're gonna get better. So yes, gear is nice, toys is nice, we all like toys. But at the end of the day, it's not about this, it's about you. It's about you, the artist. And you use this camera as a tool. So again, I wanna thank our model, Christy K, for coming on set and helping us get these photos. She's a model, she's a creative all the way around, businesswoman. Go follow her on Instagram, christyk.co. All right, so if this video was helpful for you, I want you to do me a favor, comment, share this video, like, and subscribe to our channel. And click the bell notification so you can be the first to know whenever we're dropping new content.